for what he's done for this club is more than what he's done for your club, but maybe he's the better player.
It's not maybe, he's defo the better player. And as long as I'm getting that, I'll take, if that's the one thing I get today, I'll take it.
Well, guess what?
At least I'm seeing a bit of, like now we're all on the same wavelength a little bit because...
I was going to say, guess what? John Terry's better than both, so... Hi guys, this is the 11 on SPORTbible, and today I am joined by Luke, the Manchester City fan, and James, the Liverpool fan. Oh God, eye contact already.
I was asked for eye contact, so I can do eye contact.
We are going to be picking...
Do you see 8 Premier Leagues or one? Because I can see one there.
It's a good start.
That is very good. He's had you already.
You've got to give it to him.
He's done you already,
No,
to be
he has,
honest.
he has.
Right, today we are going to be picking an all-time Premier League 11, Manchester City and Liverpool, and I'm going to be the judge. So if you two can't decide, I get the deciding vote.
Yep.
No arguing with the judge. The formation we've gone with today is a 4-3-3. We are going to start with the right back.
Yeah. Should we just do that one now, mate?
Yeah, we'll get that out the way. Like, see, a reasonable man, a reasonable opponent.
Okay, so you're not even going to put forward any Liverpool right back?
Oh, I was talking about Trent Alexander-Arnold at the end of the conversation, to be dead honest with you. Lucas, Kyle Walker's great. He's always been defensively solid, but overrated.
Oh, this is wild.
But
the
then
guy could pocket Mbappe,
but then
Vinicius Junior.
Conor Bradley also pocketed Mbappe at Real Madrid, by the way. What I would say is there's nobody who does their job better than Trent Alexander-Arnold, pound for pound, for the job they're given to do.
Last 7 years, Kyle Walker joined this league 7 years ago. He won 6 Premier League titles. Trent won 1.
It is the truest thing I'll say to you all day, and I'll leave it here. If Pep Guardiola had the choice of a Kyle Walker and a Trent Alexander-Arnold, I know which player he's choosing, and his name's not Kyle. So
no,
I would agree with Pep Guardiola and put Trent right back. That's my case.
What this is a prime example of recency bias, mate. Trent.
Why have Real Madrid never wanted Kyle Walker?
There's a reason we paid £50 million for him from Spurs.
Why have Real Madrid
never won anything at Spurs? He came over, what was he, 27, 28, 27 I think when he came to City, and he's been unbelievable.
Why did Real Madrid never want him?
Is that your limit? So if Real Madrid want a player, it automatically means they're better than someone else?
Why? That's just one of my premises, and that one premise is a very good one, because if the best team in the world have never looked in the direction of the right back you're trying to put in this team...
Some people argue he's the greatest right back the Premier League has ever seen, not even just out of these two teams.
Pep's second season, Kyle Walker came in £50 million from Tottenham Hotspur, and he's won 6 Premier League titles in 7 years. Unbelievable pace, one of the fastest Premier League players we've ever seen. Not only that, if you sat down a Premier League manager or a Premier League fan and said, who would you rather have in that back four? Prime Kyle Walker or Trent Alexander-Arnold? It's Kyle Walker every day of the week.
But I'm a Premier League fan, and I wouldn't, and that's because I understand that there's not just one way of playing football, and I think, as I said, Pep Guardiola would prefer Trent, in my opinion. I think that's quite proven with his days at Barcelona and the option and preference of attacking right backs. And then you consider Real Madrid wanting Trent Alexander-Arnold. They want the best in class for a reason. The reason why they want Trent over Hakimi is because Trent is better. The reason why they want Trent over Kimmich is because Trent is better. And the reason why they want Trent and never wanted Walker is because Walker's never been the quality of Trent Alexander-Arnold, my mate. And just because I never interrupted you, I just want to land on the premise that I think that's more than justified, more than one premise to say that Trent goes into the team.
He's not got more than one prem, has he? Forget the premise, mate. Where's the prem? 6.
Okay, and none of you are budging on... You're saying Kyle Walker, you're saying Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Only because he has more prems? That was his only point?
No, it's not.
I am going to decide...
That wasn't my only point.
That was his only point?
And it is...
Yeah, there we go, mate.
Kyle Walker. I think Kyle Walker, because I think he's probably the best right back the Premier League has ever seen. One of top 2, I would say. And I think just because Trent's a better attacker, that doesn't make him a better fullback. Trent has got the ability on the ball is, one of the best.
He's a better footballer, though.
Yeah, one of the best better footballer.
And that's why I put him in the team.
One of the best I've ever seen. However,
at least we agree. The person who chose Kyle Walker said that Trent's a better footballer.
With the ball at his feet, he's a better footballer.
I agree.
To do the job of a fullback, it's not just about having the ball at your feet, and that is why I'm going Kyle Walker. So we're playing a 4-3-3, so we have 3 midfielders to pick from.
Yep.
James, I'm going to let you go first because I think I know one of the names.
I would go with Premier League era. I'd go with Steven Gerrard. I'd go with Kevin De Bruyne. I'd go with Rodri.
I feel like you can't even argue with that.
Them 3, Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri, can't be disputed. Rodri's a Ballon d'Or winner for a reason. I thought he was completely justified in winning that award. Quite surprised Kevin De Bruyne probably doesn't have one, but he's done more than enough in the Premier League and Champions League to justify a place. And I just think them two have slightly superseded the likes of the Javier Mascherano's and Xabi Alonso's, who would be the other contenders I put in this list. And I don't think they've done their main part at Liverpool the way Rodri and Kevin De Bruyne did at City. So I'm happy with that one, my mate.
Yeah, well, David Silva's a name I'd throw out there, but I think I'm going to save him. I'm going to save him because I think he has to go in the team. I'm going to save him for later on. KDB, Rodri, Gerrard, and Yaya Toure is unlucky to miss out. Other names in there, that obviously, and honourable mentions, they're not really in there. Bernardo, Fernandinho.
Fernandinho! I forgot about Fernandinho.
Unfortunately, Rodri winning the Ballon d'Or and that goal in Istanbul, winning the treble, 4 Premier League titles in a row, a pivotal part of the team. We've seen how undone City have been this season, and a large portion of that are because we're missing Rodri.
Right. You're agreeing on Rodri, Steven Gerrard and Kevin De Bruyne?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
But out of the two, who are you picking?
KDB.
Which Steven Gerrard or Kevin De Bruyne. Individual attribute for attribute, it's not a comparison really.
Slippy G or
based on what they've done.
Based
on what they've done, both fantastic players for sure. So
I think too much. But
De Bruyne can't defend the way Gerrard could defend. He could.
Why didn't you put him up against Rodri then, mate? Put him up against Rodri.
It's a midfielder's job not to defend.
It's to do a bit of both, but that is his job is primarily to defend.
For a number 8, it's nice if you can do everything, isn't it?
Well,
it's preferred if you can do everything.
Gerrard's in there, mate. No Premier League title for him.
I understand why you choose KDB over Steven Gerrard, and I just think attribute for attribute, we can go with goals or trophies for the whole debate if we like. Attribute for attribute, I think Gerrard's a more well-rounded player, and I think most people would agree with that.
So we happy with that then?
Buzzing.
There we go.
You're keeping it warm for me, have you? Zanka.
Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne.
No, that sounds.
And Steven Gerrard. We are going to move on to the front three, and we're going to start with the striker.
Yes.
The number 9 up top.
Yep.
I feel like I know who both of you are going to put forward, but do you want to go first?
Sergio Aguero.
Is that what you want to extend?
He doesn't even need to say anything else.
I was going to let you go first this time, mate.
Oh no, to be honest with you, Michael Owen. I think Michael Owen, he's got more golden boots than Sergio Aguero in less time. He's got a Ballon d'Or unlike Sergio Aguero. He got those golden boots at the age of 17 and 18, and I don't even like Michael Owen. I prefer to use a Fernando Torres or Luis Suarez for this debate, who, by the way, I think pound for pound, Luis Suarez is better than Aguero as well. I think that's fine. It's just Aguero has the longevity.
So why have you gone Michael Owen instead of someone like Luis Suarez?
He's probably one of the greatest strikers the Premier League's ever seen. Certainly better than Aguero based on achievements. And also a better goal-to-game ratio, I would imagine, with the amount of goals he scored in that time.
Not true.
In his time at Liverpool. No. I think you might be a little bit wrong there, my friend.
I don't know about
more golden boots, more Ballon d'Ors. I feel like I'm surprised we're still having the conversation, but that's fine. Right, well, we can have the conversation. If we're going to remove longevity, I'll put Luis Suarez in above Aguero.
We're never going to remove longevity. I'll have my say here, mate. Sergio Aguero, best. We'll forget Haaland in a few years. We might be talking about Haaland.
He won't be better than Aguero.
He's out. Yeah, I'd probably
he could be
agree.
a better goal scorer.
But we'll leave Haaland out there. Aguero now, you could put him back in the Premier League now. He's retired. We could bring him back out. Anyone in the Premier League could take him. He could just sit on the halfway line for 25 full games in a row. He could just sit there reading a book, watching a game, whatever he wants to do, and he would still have the best goals per minute of any Premier League striker ever. If we forget Haaland.
And still has less golden boots than Michael Owen.
Yeah, Aguero never played more than 33 games. He averaged about 25 to 30 games a season because of injury. Yeah. And he got 184 goals in 275 games, I believe.
We want to talk about someone else. Luis Suarez was a better player than Sergio Aguero.
That season, I mean, individually.
I said that at the start. I said, if you're not going to choose Owen, choose Suarez.
I mean, you've picked Michael Owen, but you could argue that season that Luis Suarez had when he scored, 31 goals and 17 assists, or 33 goals, 17 assists, is better than any season Aguero has had individually at their peak.
We're talking about Suarez.
Individually, Haaland outscored Suarez, and he's only been here two and a bit years.
Because he's achieved more than Aguero.
Yeah, only was in the league.
Because he's achieved more than Aguero individually. That's why I chose Michael Owen, and he's got a bit more substance and longevity to his Premier League career.
It's got to be Aguero. He scored 2 goals every 3 games. Scored a goal out of anywhere.
I mean, James, if you want to, are you going to let Luke have Aguero?
I've just gave you all the stats for Michael Owen.
Okay, so I'm deciding then.
Yeah.
Oh, which pocket am I going in?
Oh,
I'm so sorry. I feel bad because I'm like...
The statues
But
outside
I think once we get to a few other positions on the pitch, I feel like we might start to see more red. But for me, Sergio Agüero is one of the best strikers we've ever seen in the Premier League.
So was Michael Owen.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not, but for me, watching Sergio Aguero every single week, he had everything. I don't think there was anything he couldn't do as a striker. Let's do the wingers. James, should we start with the right winger,
Let's
shall we?
bloody do it.
Let's do it. Because I feel like, I mean, you could put forward, have you got anyone?
No, I'm willing to concede to Mo Salah. It's ridiculous what he's doing now and what he's done the last few years. But, you know, Riyad, I'm not saying Riyad Mahrez is better than Salah. I'm happy to concede this one, to be honest. But Mahrez, unbelievable right winger. And yeah, I just got to give him a bit of a shout out.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think Mahrez deserves to be in the conversation. I don't think it's a case where Mahrez isn't in the conversation for all. He's won the AFCON, he's won multiple Prems, he's won the league with Leicester. Like, I don't really consider like City winning the league as like that thing, but winning it with Leicester, that gives you full legitimacy for me.
But
Salah's best right winger probably of all time in the Premier League, isn't he? So I'd have to go with him as well.
Where does he rank amongst the best players in the world right at this moment?
I think he's the best right now.
You think he's the best in the world right now?
I think he's the best right now. The way he's adapted his game to creating goals as well, and the amount that he's always scored has been incredible. But I think the second that he starts creating them, there's nothing you can really say. Like before, you could maybe say he was selfish or this. I just don't think there's nothing for him now. His passing's unbelievable. His focus is unbelievable. Reading in the game is fantastic. And the consistency.
Right.
Great stuff. Is this the right winger?
Yeah.
There we go. Mohamed Salah is our
he's
right
got a bit
winger.
Red now.
Okay, so we've got Mohamed Salah on the right wing and we've got Kevin De Bruyne in central midfield.
Yes.
Who are you picking? Out of the two, who has been the best? I say over the last 7-8 years, something like that, because I think that's like a good enough time period.
I think Salah's had more of an impact in our team than De Bruyne has on theirs. They both had great impacts, but the way I describe it is if De Bruyne wasn't in the City team, they'd still be top of the table, they'd still be competing for Champions Leagues. Salah's not in our team, I don't think that's the same story.
For me, it's close, but I think De Bruyne. I think if you look at what he's done, and I know you're not going to like me bringing up the trophies again, mate, but they can't not be mentioned. You look at 4 Premier League titles in a row. They're just not the only factor. I agree, but he's so pivotal in that. KDB.
And so is Salah in our success or lack of. But even if he's pivotal in our lack of success, he's still pivotal in that period. He's still pivotal to the goal.
But what we're saying is these are both two incredibly important players. That's what I'm saying anyway. And the success of this team is significantly more. We look at the last 7 years, like you said, 6 of those titles were City's, 1 was Liverpool's. Domestic treble, 100 points. We're breaking every record.
Still doesn't mean he's a better individual.
And he has been the. If you said to me, out of all the players across that period, you can only have one, it would be him. I think
he's not as well rounded
in 20, 30 years, kids will be talking about this guy like you're talking about Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard. 100%, 100%.
City will. Kids won't.
You don't think kids will?
That's waffle.
Kids won't.
Right, okay, let's move on then to the left winger.
Yeah.
Now I feel like...
I think this is fairly easy.
Do you?
Yeah, Sadio Mane. There's not really another conversation to be dead honest with you, because you could have Raheem Sterling. We've seen what he's turned into. I think Sadio Mane all the way until his final 6 months at the club, absolutely fantastic. If we're going to talk about attribute for attribute, skill for skill, achievements, importance to the team, I just think Sadio Mane far surpasses any left winger City have ever had.
Now, Luke mentioned someone earlier that didn't want to be put into the midfield debate, but I feel like he's going to bring him up in this left winger debate.
David Silva.
No.
You're going to say, what you're going to say is...
Not left wing.
Not left wing, right?
No. Because he never played there majority of his career.
Whoa. 4-3-3. Who said this team's symmetrical and it all runs like this?
Me.
Right. David Silva, you could speak to my dad's generation. I can
speak to myself and say how great he is.
Okay, you can speak to yourself.
I wanted him at Liverpool.
I feel like you're speaking to yourself at the moment, mate. David Silva.
No, because you're speaking to a player of someone who agrees with.
I personally would say KDB is our best ever player. A lot of Man City fans would say David Silva is the best ever player to play for the club. And why isn't he not in the team?
He's technically better than Kevin De Bruyne.
David Silva. You speak to me, I'd say Kevin De Bruyne is the greatest ever player to play for City, and I'd say he's closely followed by David Silva. When he came in, he's like a wizard on the pitch. He's honestly like a wizard on the pitch. You give him a little free roll here on the left side, and you speak to my dad's generation, a lot of City fans, even my age, younger, that watch David Silva play would say he's the best player we've ever had, and he simply has to get in the team on that left side. I appreciate typically didn't always or didn't necessarily play on far left wing
role
up here, but that midfield there is no way. If you spoke to Pep, you spoke to Jurgen Klopp, David Silva is getting in the team there over Mane every day of the week.
What I find interesting is when you actually hear Premier League, like people picking their all-time Premier League 11s, David Silva is always in it.
He's in there.
He wouldn't be in mine. He wouldn't be in mine.
I'll tell you what, you know them greatest Premier League 11s? He's never there. He's always here.
This is Liverpool.
Do you know where Kevin De Bruyne is? That's where he always is, right there. He's never there. I agree.
So why
I'll tell you
Sadio
something.
Mane?
Forget, I don't even need to, you know my opinion on Sadio Mane. I don't even need to defend him. So for me, I would easily say for a left winger in this team, you go with Sadio. You said Klopp would choose David Silva at left wing above Sadio Mane. You are ludicrous.
Why are you making a team symmetrical? It's 4-3-3. Both know that. Put him there.
Be here.
Let him swivel around there. We're not saying he has to run up to here.
That's why the left back
I'm
goes up
telling you
and
what
down.
your own managers did with this player.
We know who's coming in.
Your own managers would start him here. I'm doing what your managers would do.
This left back will be up here. Is one of you going to concede? Because I really don't want to make this decision.
No, I'm not.
He's not a left winger.
I'm not conceding.
David Silva's main position is not a left winger.
He's got a statue outside our ground. He's arguably our best ever player. He has to be. But you're not KDB, Gerrard, and Rodri. Torre didn't even get a shout, mate.
I have to go David Silva. So I'm going with David Silva. And anyway, we are moving on because it's time to do the defence. So James, you can go first. Who are your two centre backs that you're putting forward?
I will go with Virgil van Dijk and Vincent Kompany. If you want to put Ruben Diaz above Vincent Kompany, that's fine. But both of them are worse than Virgil, so I'm happy to just choose Virgil and then put either one of them next to him.
I'd have to agree there, mate. I think Kompany, what he did for City is unbelievable. Came in dirt cheap before the trophies that we're seeing now and years gone by. He came in and obviously was playing more here at the start, where Rodri is, obviously, and he's unbelievable. Kompany. I mean, that goal must genuinely give you nightmares. I'm not just trying to get. I'm just thinking a moment.
He was a great player.
That goal against Leicester, the goal against United, absolute beast at centre back, and Van Dijk. Obviously, you paid a lot more for him.
Kompany always played for us as well when he played against us, didn't he? He loved the performance with us.
But yeah, I think Van Dijk, what he's done at Liverpool, I mean, he was getting Ballon d'Or shouts in 2019. I don't think he was too far off winning that.
Runner-up.
Yeah, he wasn't far. I think it was. So yeah, I mean, you look at Diaz as well. With Diaz coming into City, we said off camera, he's never not won the league at City. He joined in 2020. Do you know what I mean? He's been here 5 years. He's never not won the league. So yeah, Diaz, unbelievable impact. We were pretty shaky when he came in, but for me, it's Kompany and Van Dijk.
Okay, and if you had to pick one,
it's Virgil. It's Virgil. Come on. I know we've got to support our players. I'm not going to say that, you know.
Who's the better player now? Who's the better player?
I think I'm just thinking if you're talking like
everything.
Yeah, everything included.
For what he did for this club,
and Virgil van Dijk.
Where do you want your statue? He's got the statue. For what he's done for this club is more than what he's done for your club. But maybe he's the better player.
It's not maybe, he's defo the better player. And as long as I'm getting that, I'll take. If that's the one thing I get today, I'll take it.
Well, guess what?
At least I'm seeing a bit of, like now we're all on the same wavelength a little bit because...
I was going to say, guess what? John Terry's better than both, so...
He's a great player.
He is. Do you think Virgil van Dijk is the best centre-back the Premier League has ever seen?
Overall career, no. But as a player, yes.
Okay, taking everything into account.
Everything into account.
Tough question.
Yes.
You just said no.
No one's going to come. No.
You just said overall career, no.
Yeah.
But now you've decided overall career, yes.
If you'd asked me 2 years ago, then no. But now, yes. Yeah, he's got the longevity, which is what people used against him before. He overcame from a huge injury that very few players are able to come back from and get close to the same level.
Well, that was easy, wasn't it?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Come on, guys. Actually put next to you. Virgil van Dijk and Vincent Kompany. Right, should we move on to the left back?
Go on, you go first this time.
If you said to me now, who goes in there, it's Robertson for me, with what he's done. But I've got to argue a case for some City player in there. And we've not really had many left backs.
I'd say Gael Clichy has a huge shout.
Clichy, very good in his time at City.
He has more of a shout than Cancelo, I think.
Cancelo in there, but I think Ake would be my personal one there.
Oh, no.
One-on-one defending at left-back, unbelievable Nathan Ake. He's been, I don't think any City left-back gets near Robertson at that spot.
Yeah. Where does Andy Robertson then, if it's a unanimous decision, where does Andy Robertson rank in terms of there has been some great left backs. I don't think he's the best left back the Premier League has ever seen, but he's definitely up there.
Yeah, he's overachieved in his career for what would have been expected, because he just works so hard. He's very tenacious. He's just got that. If he's a part of your team, you love him, don't you? And he won everything with the club, even if it was just once. Twice the League Cup.
You have Mane at left back, mate, if you still want him.
We're not putting players in our actual positions, are we? All right. We don't want to do that. We're putting players in random positions anyway. Might as well. Thank you all.
There we go. Another one. Now, in this era of Premier League football, there was 2 goalkeepers that stood out, Ederson and Alisson.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it up to you two because I think the difference in them is so small.
Yeah.
So who are we going with? And I don't think any of you are going to back down on this.
I don't think individual goalkeeper for goalkeeper, it's close. But if we're going to talk about, on the ball, you'd say Ederson. And trophies, you'd say Ederson. But I think attribute for attribute, if you were going to single them out, I think Alisson is superior in every one of them. Besides on the ball.
In the Premier League era, City have won 8 Premier League titles and Liverpool have won 1. So if this, not to try and annoy you, even though it will sort of, if this was Leicester and City,
Referee foul play.
1v8 or Blackburn v City. Obviously we're not gonna take the mick. Liverpool far better than those teams, but we're talking about a Premier League all-time 11, and City have won 8 Premier League titles. Other than United, that's the most.
Can I tell you something? Every one of those points that you've just made and every one of those Premier League titles you've just mentioned in no way, shape or form backs up Ederson being better than Alisson.
But
one single bit.
His ball playing ability there, Ederson, runs with his team.
But he's not a better goalkeeper than Alisson.
So Luke, you're going Ederson, you're going Alisson, James. Because you can't decide, I'm going to have to decide. And this time, I'm actually going with...
Bosh.
Alisson. Right. This is your Manchester City and Liverpool.
It's not mine. This is your 11.
This is the starting 11 that we've gone with as a 3.
It's not mine.
You're not happy with it, James?
No, this is your 11 and you should be proud of your creation.
We're a 3.
This is not mine.
We've come to a joint decision.
I did not participate.
You did, mate. You said a lot, I have to say, James.
Lucas, it was lovely working with you. And yourself, you're a fantastic presenter, but you could never be a manager on a football pitch.
That's why I'm a presenter.
You could never.
Bernardo Silva is a better footballer than Saka. Of course he is.
Well,
he links up play better, he scores bigger goals, he works harder for the team.
Scores bigger goals?
Yeah,
What do
goals
you mean
against
by
Real
that?
Madrid, Bayern Munich in the Champions League.
No, but he hasn't... Who else scored in that game? In that 4-0?
Loads of players.